If a person aspires to be a political leader for their country and wishes to implement a gold standard into its monetary system, what attributes or qualities should that person possess?
Well, there are two that come to mind, Brian. The first one is trust. Someone who is trusted by the people of whatever country he or she is leading, because we've had gold standards before, and they've been reneged on by governments. Now, I tell people, don't rely on the government. You can go on a personal gold standard. If I get paid in U.S. dollars and I go out and buy physical gold, or you get paid in Aussie dollars and you want to buy physical gold to preserve wealth or manage your assets, that's putting yourself on a personal gold standard. But governments have gone on gold standards from time to time, and many of them have failed in one way or the other by government action. Government suspended redemptions at the beginning of World War I. That was the end of the classic gold standard. Of course, famously, President Nixon of the United States ended the Bretton Woods gold standard on August 15, 1971. World War I, of course, 1914 and 1971. The UK devalued against gold in 1931. The US devalued against gold in 1933. So many examples of countries setting up gold standards. So if you want it to work, this leader is going to have to be trusted to actually stick to it, and then find some governance or legal or other means of pursuing that. The other quality is you have to be a good communicator. I go back to Ronald Reagan. His nickname was the Great Communicator. But I have a graduate degree in economics. My class, was class of '74, was the last class to be taught gold as a monetary asset, because it was, even though Nixon went off the gold standard in '71, the world thought that was meant to be temporary. I've spoken to Paul Volcker and others who were with Nixon at the time. They all thought it was temporary. They thought they would temporarily suspend redemptions, devalue the dollar from maybe $35 to $42, and then go back to the gold standard at the new level. Of course, that never happened. Here it is 40 plus years later, and that hasn't happened. But that period, 72, 73, 74, the world still sort of thought it was on a gold standard, and I studied it in international economics. Since then, I tell people, if you're younger than I am and you know anything about gold, you're either self-taught or you went to mining school, but as a result, we have really two generations of Americans, Australians, or citizens around the world who have come along and not been taught anything about gold. I think Australians have a better intuitive sense of the value of gold than Americans do. Americans are completely sort of brainwashed, if you will. So I think a leader would need good communication skills to explain how it works, and to be trusted.